I use the phrase, a candidate is the leader of their little band. They must lead, and in order to lead, you have to believe in themselves. And I refer to the fact, Jack Canfield, who's one of the gurus of marketing and sales, and I'm going to read this quote from his book. He interviewed 100, 200, many more successful people. And he said in the general resonance or question was, quote, "I was not the most gifted or talented person in my field, but I chose to believe anything was possible. I studied, practiced, and worked harder than the others, and that's how I got to where I am." So that is what a candidate has to be. He or she has to work harder than anybody else, because how are you going to expect somebody to knock on doors with you if you're passive about it? Candidates, if they know and believe in themselves 110%, it'll show. If they're not willing to ask and ask and ask, both for money and for time. Probably the most important thing you'll ask, it's one thing to ask somebody for funds, but it's another to ask of their time. And when you ask somebody of your time as a volunteer, you're asking them to do something they've probably never done before, knock on doors. And that's one of the hardest parts of campaigning. You got to be enthused. Dale Carnegie says, if you act enthused, you will be enthused. And I mean, it's an attitude adjustment. And the bottom line, and I'm going to take another quote here, they sell benefits. And years ago, a manager field training with Firestone Tire, William Robbins, said, quote, "People don't buy things, they buy what the things will do for them." So he would work with his salespeople. Do you know what Firestone tires will do for you? And that's the theme of every candidate. They have to say, what will Mike Noblet do for me? Not that Mike Noblet's, it'd be nice if everybody thought he was a nice guy, but what will he do for me in office, whatever the case is? They prepare. A salesperson is not, a successful salesperson is one who knows the subject better than the person that maybe designed it. They prepare, they prepare, they prepare, and they perform. And I'm not saying it in terms of being an actor, but you have to be animated in who you are and what you're doing. And that relates to being prepared. You've got to be prepared wherever you are at any time for any eventuality. And that's the tenet of good salespeople. So in sum, if you don't believe in yourself and you don't sell yourself, how can you expect others to buy?